Damn, Kyle, you going off.
Hold on.
You need to leave.
Bruh. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Cam back with a YouTube video, and today we're gonna be checking out another video from Mr. Sowell, bro. This one's titled "Why Do People Hold Stereotypes?" Not sure if he's talking about like gender stereotypes, race stereotypes, but we're gonna find out today, man. Some gender stereotypes I can think of off the bat is like how when a baby is born, if he's a boy, he's supposed to be wrapped up in blue. If it's a girl, it's supposed to be wrapped up in pink, or like how boys are supposed to play with like trucks and Legos, and girls are supposed to play with dolls and draw and stuff like that. So those are a few gender stereotypes, but I want to see what Mr. Sowell's going to be talking about, man. So for the video, start, smash the like button, and let's get right into the video and find out, why do people hold stereotypes, and is it a bad thing or a good thing? Let's see.
There's much loose talk about stereotypes these days. Often, it makes me think back to an episode many years ago. Back during the Korean War, a young Marine named Albert Gruner graduated from the photography school at Pensacola Naval Air Station and was ordered to report for duty as a photographer at the photo lab at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Yet, when he arrived at Camp Lejeune, he discovered that his orders had been changed. He was now told to report instead to the supply depot, where he was assigned to handle photographic supplies. Baffled and disappointed by the sudden change, Gruner told me his story, and was further taken aback when I burst out laughing. In reality, I was part of the reason for his misfortune.
Okay.
Some months earlier, the photo lab received its first group of graduates from the photography school at the Pensacola Naval Air Station. By and large, we were better photographers than those they had. However, we were also young draftees with attitudes wholly different from those of career Marines. We saw the Marine Corps as just an unwelcome interlude in our lives, and we were less than awed by our superiors or by their rules or orders. We hung out together and became known, not always affectionately, as the Pensacola Gang. When the captain in charge of the photo lab had had about as much of us as he could stand, he cleaned out the lot of us, breaking up the Pensacola Gang and scattering us individually to various other places around the base.
Okay.
When he later received word that another photographer from Pensacola had been assigned to his lab, the captain had him transferred sight unseen. It so happened that Gruner was a different sort of fellow, and would probably have gotten along very well in the photo lab, but he never got the chance because of the behavior of his predecessors. Today, that would be called stereotyping, and the captain would be criticized for not judging Gruner as an individual. However, whatever the merits of that argument in this particular case, no one goes around judging everyone as an individual, however popular such cant may be. When you are walking down a dark street at night and see a shadowy figure in an alley up ahead, do you judge him as an individual, or do you cross the street and pass on the opposite side? Judging him,
I cross the street and pass on the opposite side, bro. Regardless of who he is or what his story is, what he going through, I'm crossing the street because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what you're doing. You're walking slow towards me. I'm like, bro, I'm going to the opposite side of the street. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't shame anybody if they did the same, you know?
you cross the street and pass on the opposite side. Judging him as an individual could cost you your life.
Exactly.
It may turn out that he is just a kindly neighbor out walking his dog, but you discover that only after the fact. The high cost of knowledge is often overlooked when discussing social policies, and especially social policies in the emotionally charged area of race and ethnicity. In real life, decisions are based on imperfect knowledge, simply because there is no other kind. Recently, a black middle-class professional wrote of his resentment when he was asked to pay for his meal in advance in an Asian-owned restaurant, especially after he noted that a white couple that came in was not asked to do the same.
Okay.
Was this arbitrary racism or self-protection based on experience in this neighborhood? That was the key question he did not ask, nor do most journalistic stories or even scholarly studies.
Dang, that's a really good question. Are they being racist, or are they just learning from past mistakes? But I would understand his frustration, man. I'd understand it.
The same man also realistic stories or even scholarly studies. The same man also expressed resentment at the looks of aversion he received from fellow blacks in another establishment because he was wearing his hair in dreadlocks. Clearly, this was not a question of racism, but of repugnance toward the kind of people who make a statement with that kind of hairstyle. Apparently, neither blacks, whites, nor Asians judge each person as an individual. Probably no one else in the world does either, though the intelligentsia may talk that way. Fortunately, the marketplace puts a price on incorrect generalizations, as it does on all sorts of other incorrect assumptions behind economic decisions. Even the most racist owner of a professional basketball team could not refuse to hire blacks unless he were willing to face bankruptcy and thereby cease to be a basketball owner. Theoretically, racists could simply absorb the losses created by their own discrimination. Empirically, it is very hard to find people who are willing to lose hard cash in order to discriminate. Racists may prefer their own group to others, but they prefer themselves most of all.
That's a good point. That's a really good point, man.
Hard to find people who are willing to lose hard cash in order to discriminate. Racists may prefer their own group to others, but they prefer themselves most of all.
Yeah,
that is why discrimination has always been most prevalent where it costs discriminators the least, in government employment, in regulated utilities, or in nonprofit organizations. That was true throughout the pre-civil rights era, just as reverse discrimination is generally strongest in such organizations today. This is not an American pattern, but a worldwide pattern. Yet those who wish to fight against discrimination often try to move employment decisions and other decisions out of the marketplace and into the hands of people who pay no price: politicians, bureaucrats, and judges.
Yeah, man. You're speaking a lot of facts. I like this part because
noted that a white couple that came in was not asked to do the same. Was this arbitrary racism?
Nah, bro. A lot of people would judge you like off your hair. You know, that's why my parents always told me to make sure like my hair is straight, and not have it like crazy, cause it's insane, bro. Like if you live in Florida, bro, you know what hair I'm talking about. Like it's like wicks. Like they always told me not to get my hair like that, I guess. But I mean I wouldn't want it.
Or self-protection based on experience in this neighborhood. That was the key question he did not ask, nor do most journalistic stories or even scholarly studies. The same man also expressed resentment at the looks of aversion he received from fellow blacks in another establishment because he was wearing his hair in dreadlocks. Clearly, this was not a question of racism, but of repugnance toward the kind of people who make a statement with that kind of hairstyle. Apparently, neither blacks, whites, nor Asians judge each person as an individual. Probably no one else in the world does either, though the intelligentsia may talk that way.
Yeah, man. You know, the shop owner had to learn from his experiences, and I mean, I'm sure it was no harm to him. He just every time this person with this hairstyle comes in, I get ripped off. I lose I lose money. So let me just make you pay beforehand, see what happens. Oh, bet, okay. So, but like I said, I do understand his I understand how he was feeling, because he walked into the store and they said, "Hey, pay," before. I'm like, nobody else paid. So I understand that part. But then once you like hear the backstory of what the shop owner has been going through, you're like, oh, okay, I understand, bro. You can either go somewhere else or you pay and stay there. You know what I'm saying?
Fortunately, the marketplace puts a...
But nah, bro. People will judge on your hair, honestly, bro. Like, they will. You know, that's why you gotta make sure you're looking nice. You gotta be looking sharp at all times, bro. Get you a cut, bro. You know? But yeah, that's the end of the video, bro. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. I always enjoy listening to Thomas Sowell, bro. If you guys want me to check out anything else by Thomas, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace.